Good morning, this is Rich Nelson with Allendale. Special update for you. Today's date is Tuesday, June 11th of 2019. Now today's special occasion is the June supply demand report from USDA. On this one, they of course made revisions for the old crop as well as new crop numbers. And certainly for the big issue we're looking at, corn certainly got the top billing for the big changes here today. Now in terms of USDA's numbers, they did drop new crop production by 1.35 billion bushels. This came from a decline of 3 million acres on the planted acre side, but also a very sharp 10 bushel an acre drop for yields. In fact, this 5.7% drop from May to June is the largest May to June percentage drop USDA has done in history. So they're quite active on the new crop production side as far as recognizing the current problems right now. Now, also of interest, this decline in production, of course, did carry over into the final balance sheet. We saw new crop stocks falling from 2.485 billion bushels now to 1.675 billion bushels. Now, on the bullish side, it looks like USDA will probably be lowering acres yet again. They only dropped them 3 million acres this time around. On the bearish side, though, USDA dropped 1350 out of new crop production as far as million bushels. However, the demand offset was very low, only 425 million bushels for an offset. Typically, they offset about half of a demand decline. So it looks like we'll have some competing stories in the next few weeks on USDA's numbers. As a small reminder, this 11.8% stocks to use would actually be the smallest in 6 years if this number does carry out here. As far as the world balance sheet for corn, they did drop them pretty good here, 315 million tons here last month. Now they see new crop stocks on the world basis, 291, with this good change for the U.S. balance sheet. Over on soybeans, looks like USDA was active in recognizing some problems with demand overall. They did raise the old crop stocks from 995 to now 1070, and of course that carried on the new crop balance sheet. There are no changes made for USDA's new crop production numbers, which is relatively normal for what they do, at least for the June report. With this in mind, that helped carry over a change on the new crop ending stocks, going from 970 million bushels last month to now 1.045 billion bushels. As a reminder, most people would suggest USDA has a little higher acres still coming for the soybean side, so really no saving grace yet for this large soybean problem. As far as the world numbers on soybeans, without too much of a movement on this issue for the U.S. side, looks like they only dropped to 114 million tons was a world new crop ending stock number, now looking at 112.7. As far as wheat end of things here, it looks like USDA did recognize the fact that old crop wheat exports did end a little better than expected, and therefore we saw a small decline in the old crop balance sheet. Now, as far as other positive news, despite the fact that they did raise the new crop production a little bit here, they actually more than offset that with a change in demand as a whole here, carried over from the new crop from the old crop balance sheet. So it looks like these wheat ending stock numbers fell from 1.141 billion bushels last month, now 1.072. Of interest for us on this new crop wheat balance sheet, a lot of people have been paying attention to the Russia and Ukraine wheat crops here in recent weeks. USDA did add only 1 million ton to the Russian wheat crop production estimate, and that put them now at 78 million tons. Still under Sovecon, many other private analysts who are sitting at 82. So bottom line for today's report, this was considered positive as far as the corn end. Many people might suggest that USDA probably made their big move on production, and it might be some time before making another big move on production in the coming months. As far as wheat, a little positive there. Soybeans, despite today's numbers, and we can't really get too excited about this market in the grand scheme of things. Any questions about this market, this report itself, give Allendale a call, 1-800-262-7538.